For reference, I'm a petite 5-foot girl, and this happened back when I was 19. My friend B, her partner, and I decided to go to our local gay nightclub for the first time. Everything started out totally fine, and I had even run into some more friends that I knew that night. I felt carefree and wonderful. As the night went on, I started to get thirsty but didn't have my wallet. Luckily, I had some waters in my car. The parking lot is pretty big and stretches back to the wooded area with not much light. Naturally, I parked in the back and told my friends I'd be fine going alone. I got to my car, got my water and wallet, and everything was good. As I started walking back towards the building though, I was stopped by an older man, maybe in his late 50s. He just started casual conversation with me, and I figured that he was a gay man considering we were at a gay nightclub on drag night. And then, almost randomly, he throws in, "Do you want to see my knife collection? They have real opal handles," and pointed to his SUV that was parked against the fence at another poorly lit area of the parking lot. Red flags went off and I got immediately spooked, but I didn't want to be rude and book it. I also didn't know if he'd catch up with me or not, and the parking lot at this point was completely empty of people. I told him no thanks, and I had to get back into my friends. He quickly went to his car and pulled out a package of those cheap colognes you get at Walmart and asked if I wanted to smell his cologne. Again, I said no thank you. I started to walk back to the building when he comes back to me and slings his arm around me. I felt so uncomfortable and sick, and to this day, I don't know why I just let it happen. After entering the building with him still attached to my hip, I was checking back in with the front desk worker, and dude tells him that I was paying his way in. The worker looks at me expectantly, and other people were around. I didn't want to seem like an arse, nor did I want to attract attention, so I quickly gave him $10 and ran into the doors of the club. I quickly regrouped with my friends, shook to the core over this creepy dude. I didn't see him for a bit, until he ran right through the crowd and put his arms around me and attempted to kiss me. I quickly took myself away from the situation, and my friend's partner was dealing with him while she was calming me down. He tried to find me and apologise, but my friend told him to fuck off. I didn't see him again after that, thankfully. So, creepy guy at the club that took advantage of my polite and naive nature? Let's hope we never meet again. I used to drink at a certain pub in Glasgow and go to a nightclub after. The pub was populated by bikers and other heavy music fans, and this one guy that wore pale blue jeans and a white iron shirt totally did not fit in. Now, I'm an antisocial girl, so I'd sit in the pub with a book. I liked a pint, music, and having people around me. I just didn't like talking that much. White shirt man kept trying. He would nod at me whenever I looked up, try and buy me a drink when I went to the bar, and several times sat at my table trying to start a conversation. Apparently saying, "Sorry, not interested," didn't mean a thing to him. One night, I was really dressed up because I felt like it. Creepy white shirt guy kept trying to catch my eye. When I walked round to the nightclub, he followed me persistently, trying to get my attention. Walking in the club, I gave the bouncer my usual nod greeting. They all sort of knew me there. The thing is, as I went to pay to get in, the white shirt guy's arm popped past me and said, "Two, we're together." I said, "No, just one for me please," and went in. All night, this dickhead followed me. The club has 3 floors and was packed, but this guy would even wait outside the loos if I went in. One friend I left my drink with later admitted that he put it down on the bar for a while. After a while, I started feeling odd, really odd. I was dizzy, sweating and shaking. I decided I must be coming down with something and headed home. I don't remember going down the stairs, but apparently, white shirt guy followed me. However, the bouncer stopped the creep getting me out when he tried saying that I had too much to drink. I used to run pubs. The bouncer knew I knew my limits and said I wasn't drunk, I was ill. White shirt guy got pushy and the bouncer ended up pinning him against the wall. However, during this time, I wandered off. One street behind the club is the red light district. No idea how I got there, but I was spotted 3 hours later walking up the main road by my home. My skirt was ripped. I had no shoes, coat, or bag. A biker friend who is also a cab driver recognised my tattoos from the back and stopped to see if I was okay. He instantly realised I wasn't. He got me in his car and phoned the nearby hospital to say he was bringing me in. 3 days later, I finally make enough sense to find out what happened. My drink was spiked with ketamine, a borderline dangerous dose. The cab driver had talked to the bouncer and between them they figure out what happened. The cab driver and his friends tracked down the white shirt creep and gave him a kicking. Then, the railway lads heard and they gave him a kicking. He was thankfully barred from the pub and bar club, although, because of his actions, it was an awful long time before I felt safe going out again. I'll start by saying I'm a 21-year-old female university student who lives in a small town in Greece. It's a safe town, full of university students, and I live in a safe area. I've never felt in danger before until that Saturday. 2 weeks ago, I was at a birthday get-together for a friend at a restaurant with a bunch of friends and uni classmates. We were mostly drinking wine, but it was enough to get me tipsy, as I really hadn't eaten anything before I came out. After we had dinner and drank, everyone started to leave, and a smaller group of us decided to continue the birthday party for bar hopping. It was me, the guy who was a designated driver, who was a 21-year-old male, and 3 more girls aged 20 to 21 years old. We went to some bars to dance, and ended up in a typical nightclub, all of us tipsy at this point, including the guy. But I was the worst of them, getting really dizzy after having more and stronger drinks. After dancing for a couple of hours and the drunken feeling only getting worse, I decided to go home. I told the group that I was leaving, and they suggested to walk me home, but my house is half an hour away from where the club was, and I didn't want to make anyone walk all the way there and back. Anyway, the designated driver didn't seem well enough to drive, so there was no way I was getting in his car. I could feel that I wasn't exactly walking straight, but I had a sense of my surroundings and I knew this road by the back of my hand. It was 3 to 4 AM on a Sunday morning, so there were still people outside returning from bars themselves. I was around 15 minutes away from my house, walking past a kebab place that was open 24/7, when I heard a guy yell, "Hey you, sweetheart, don't go, I just want to talk." Since I was the only female walking on this road at this hour, I realised he must have been talking to me. I tried to take a quick look behind me and saw a tall guy in an Adidas tracksuit with a hood over his head walk quickly after me. I felt an adrenaline rush and began to walk fast. I tried to get past my drunken state and think clearly. My house was in a dark area and I had to walk through a dark corner behind a grocery store to get there. I'm a sucker for true crime and horror movies, and this felt like a real horror story coming to life. I heard him yell stop at me one more time and that he only wanted to talk, but I did not stop. I took my cell phone out of my jacket and pretended to be on the phone, hoping this would sway him off. 5 to 10 minutes later, I stopped hearing footsteps, so I put my phone back in my pocket and slowed down, letting my guard down. He probably got bored and left, or so I had thought. As I was walking, I suddenly heard his voice again, and this time, he wasn't far behind me, he was walking right next to me. I felt cold sweat all over my body. "Why are you running away?" he asked. "You're so beautiful. I wanted to talk to you." I said nothing and started to walk faster. He seemed around my age and had a cigarette hanging from his mouth. "Do you have a boyfriend?" he asked me. "Yes, I do," I lied. I thought that if I lied and said I was dating someone, he would stop harassing me and go away, but he didn't. "That sucks. He must be a lucky guy. Can I have your number? I'd love to take you out for some coffee." "No thanks. This is creeping me out, honestly," I replied. "I won't hurt you. My name's Jim," he said and stretched his hand out to me. I hesitated, but shook his hand and then started walking fast again. I said my name to him, but he had no other information about me. Come to think about it, I should have lied, but I was drunk and scared, so I just said whatever came first to me, naturally, my name. I really have to go, I said and took my keys out. I was only 5 minutes away from my house now, where my roommate was sleeping. Fine. Your boyfriend must be very lucky, he told me and stopped trying to catch up with me. I felt relief rush over me and I almost started running. I checked behind me one more time when I figured he wouldn't see me and he seemed gone. I don't know if he was actually a threat or really just wanted to ask me out, or if somehow I managed to survive a sexual assault or worse. All I know is I'm never walking home on my own at that hour, that drunk, again.